Get loose. Roll tide, roll tide, roll tide. Me.
I hope you are recording.
No.
That's going to be the best outtake.
All right. You good to go?
Yeah,
right.
pretty much. Everything's
All right. Welcome everybody back to another edition of What's Happening Now with CNI Solutions. I'm your host, Charles Fry.
And I'm Brewster Fomby.
Tonight on producer, we got Miss Akaya Humphreys volunteering helping us out tonight. So we do appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Akaya. If you recall our last session that we had with Mr. Tim Rice, he talked about the importance of comments, likes, and shares. So everybody, please do comment, like, and share this Facebook Live as it does mean a lot, and it might help someone else who might need some of this information that we're going to be able to get out, okay?
Yep, absolutely.
So just keep that in mind. On the 17th of December, we did do the Huntsville Black Chamber 25th Annual Business Conference Award. We was there with Jerry Mitchell, president of the Black Chamber. Mr. Fomby, what did you think about that? How was that?
Wow, question for me. You know, Charles, everyone out there, I really did enjoy it. One thing I was telling Charles earlier, it gave us an opportunity to see other small businesses taking a look at what they do and see how potentially we can work together to bring more of an opportunity to our community as a whole. So it was exciting.
Great. And as y'all all saw, I think we shared briefly the award that was presented to us from the Black Chamber during that time. It was also, it was an expo that they did there as well, and CNI Solutions participated with the expo. Mm-hmm. There were some other entrepreneurs there who participated in the expo, which was a beautiful thing, and we was glad to see that. Miss Sandra Brelzelton, she gave a phenomenal speech during the Black Chamber Expo. I really thought it was very heartfelt. It kind of hit home to me, and it really made me proud to be an entrepreneur. Right. And I really thank her for that speech that she gave. And I also want to thank Miss Pamela Gupton from the Doubletree for allowing the Black Chamber of Commerce to be there and hosting the event there. That was really awesome. Pamela and the Doubletree is down on the South Parkway here in Huntsville. So tonight we got a special guest, Miss Lisa Smith from Madison. Miss Lisa Smith is the owner of SpinWren Properties, co-working space there in Madison. There you can pretty much do a lot. CNI Solutions was a member of the co-working space there in Madison, and we really enjoyed our time.
And we still miss you.
Oh, thank you. And it was really great. So if anybody who might be interested in and looking for a co-working space, please look up Lisa Smith and SpinWren, offices of SpinWren there in Madison. She is also the owner of Trade Bank, which she will get into and talk a little bit about, which is very, very interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of good information for a lot of entrepreneurs out there to actually want to look into, because this could be something benefit for you, especially if you are, as one of our previous guests like to say, bootstrapping your business and you're a little low on those cash, but maybe you might want to trade some services or something like that. So I'm sure Lisa will get a little bit into that as we speak a little bit on that. Please keep in mind that we will be starting our first entrepreneur class for the 2022 season in January. That will be on the 31st of January, our in-house class. So those of you all have not signed up, please get signed up now. Those seats will fill up fast. Just go to our website, www.cni-solutions.org. Go there, go to the Launch It program, and you see the application and apply now, and you can go ahead and get started. We will put that information all in the chat. For those who have not known, we'll make sure the producer gets it in there. And if you have any questions, during this session, please put it in the chat. Our producer will get it, and she'll get those questions to us, and we'll try to go ahead and get them answered for you. All right. Also, keep in mind, we're also those we had a few I should say, not emails, but I had a lot of requests for us to always put in there our Cash App information and our PayPal information for those who like to donate and support CNI Solutions. We'll make sure our producer goes ahead and puts that in the chat as well, so you can get that in there. So without any further ado, Miss Lisa, how you been? It's been a while.
Well, it is so fantastic to see you, and thank you for this opportunity, and so nice to meet you.
Likewise,
this has been a wonderful evening so far, and it's just going to get better. And I would be remiss without saying thank you to you for the people that I have sent to you that you've taken such good care of. Sometimes we have entrepreneurs come to us that are not quite ready to launch that business. They need a little more guidance. They need a little more help. And I know that the ones that I've sent to you have been well taken care of.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we spoke a little bit. I spoke a little bit to the viewers about the offices of SpinWren. Yes. Tell our viewers and talk to us a little bit about the offices of SpinWren and what they can get out of that by being there.
We are a true co-working center. It's a 10,000 square foot building. I have over 36 tenants. Some are full-time, some are part-time. And by that, I mean, some have, like you guys did, multi-office suites. Some have a single office. It's pretty much set to and catered to what they need as a business owner. And some of mine are virtuals. I have a young lady who makes jewelry. She does all of her work at home, but she meets her clients at my office. I have a young man who is an Amazon seller. He has an Amazon business, huge Amazon business. Wow. I am simply his address. I see him for package pickups, for things that are returned, for professional mail that he has to get concerning licensings and things like that. So in our building, we are a very diverse culture. You remember that. So people tend to work really well together. Right. They kind of, as you would say, spitball ideas off of each other. And it's worked out really well for us. We've been open almost 5 years. I rarely ever have an open office. Could take all the virtuals that would finish filling us up. And we offer professional conference room. We have a large training room that holds anywhere from 40 to 60.
Great.
In there.
Yes.
So we try to serve our community in that way, being the only one that does in the Madison market.
Oh, that's wonderful. I tell you what, I know one of the things I used to miss them Friday snacks.
We still do that.
Them Friday snacks, boy, I'd be waiting for that text message. Hey, we got snacks. And I'd be running to that kitchen.
That has always been a tradition. We do Friday treats.
All right.
So, Charles, maybe we can start some Friday snacks around here.
You brought some ideas from SpinWren to here.
Yeah, maybe we do that. I think we might introduce some Friday snacks here.
So what do you think it's going to be, Charles?
Probably some Ritz crackers. So
we'll give you some referrals to amp that up.
We'll get some referrals after that. Hey, we would love that. We would love that. Yeah. So guys, again, if you're looking for some office space, especially in the Madison area, I could not recommend a better office space. We have been there, both CNI Solutions and Parity Health Information Technology. We use spaces up there, and the space is phenomenal. As she said, the training room, the classroom, the environment, it's a beautiful working environment. And hey, let's face it, it's Madison, So Lisa, Brewster, did you have anything?
I do.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
So let's see, I have a thinking cap on. But no, when I heard you talked about how long you've been in business, right? And one of the things that the road that I want to go down is when it comes to starting a business, pitfalls. I'll say pitfalls. You can, use whatever language you desire. Sure. What is it that what kept you up at night when you started your business?
Good question.
This one, for about 6 to 12 months, I was looking at other co-working centers that were outside of our area. We do have one similar to mine. It's in South Huntsville at the time. Now we have others, Huntsville West and others that are doing some things that are very similar. Right. But we're all kind of strategically located around the city. But what kept me up at night was just, honestly, it was culture. Was creating, and you know what I'm talking about. Right. It was creating the culture within the office, having that diversity, creating that culture where everybody, you didn't have to love what the other person did or want to do what the other person does in the office, but everybody just gets along as a community. We use the word community a lot in both of my businesses. Right. And it's to foster that idea that you may not always agree with that person, but as a small business owner, if we do not support one another,
Yes.
It's not going to turn out well for anyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, that word culture, it's super important for those of you out there that are listening, and then will be listening when it's not live. Really let that resonate. What culture means to a group that has a diverse background, to create a way of life, a way of everyday business. Yes. You know, just working together.
Like Friday treats.
Yeah,
that was literally part of our culture.
Yeah.
Something that I took care of. I made sure it was there on Fridays, and it was just what we did. It was kind of the ritual. We have a holiday party in December for the tenants. I hire a chef that makes the meal. And I had one young lady who's in with us now, Titan Marine Fuels, and they're out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And she moved a business trip, so she didn't miss the party. I mean, that was like my early Christmas present.
Right.
Wow.
Great.
Awesome.
Great. So one of the other things that I would like to talk about, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of young entrepreneurs who's probably interested in this, is let's talk about Trade Bank. What is Trade Bank?
Trade Bank is a barter organization. You know, barter is as old as human beings, trading chicken eggs for, you know, whatever the person needed on the farm. Trade Bank just takes that barter to a whole new level. It's more like your bank. It's my barter dollars are in my Trade Bank, and my cash dollars are in Premier Bank of the South, as far as my business is concerned. But it allowed me to take what I already had paid for, virtual offices, conference room time, training room time, and offer it out to people that needed the use of it, but didn't necessarily have that cash flow yet to do it, especially virtual offices for new entrepreneurs. That's an expensive cost, you know, and it allowed them to offer to our community of 200 plus businesses here, their goods and services. Well, you know, if there's over 200 plus businesses, somebody's going to need it. Probably several somebody's.
Right.
And it allowed their items to go into barter dollars and then them buy back what they need. So it offset the cost of their business, helping them conserve that cash and be able to grow their business faster.
Offsetting costs.
Yes. I'll give you a great example.
Okay.
His name is Jay Potter. If you look him up on Facebook, he is Potter's Power Washing. He moved here from Michigan. Amazing young man. One of the hardest working young men I know. We helped him and found him a few, you know, people within Trade Bank. He does car detailing, does a fantastic job. I mean, best car detail guy you have ever worked with. Okay. And he would do these for our members, for our Trade Bank members, and turn around and he can use those barter dollars to purchase things that customer gifts. He used it to buy customer gifts. He uses it to buy advertising. Now the advertising bought from trade dollars turn around and bring him nothing but cash business. It's brilliant. Wow, yes. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
For me, and it's offset a lot of the costs of operating the offices at SpinWren. It's found me a whole new cash flow that I would have never had. You know, I'm looking at bringing in probably around, conservatively, about $1,500 to $2,000 a month just in barter.
Wow.
That offsets a lot of things for me. That offsets pressure washing, that offsets pest control, any food that I bring in, even on Friday snacks, anything like that, the cleaning services for the building, those things I was paying cash for. Well, if I'm using barter to pay for all those things, where's the cash? Still in my bank.
See, I like that. Actual dollar is in your bank.
Yeah, the actual dollars stay in my bank. Now, you can't control whether or not fuel goes up. You can't control how much you're going to be taxed on your business this year. But if I have additional funds in the bank, if there's an emergency at my building, I have an emergency fund.
Right.
Or I can start a business savings account. Or I can do certain things that, you know, I could have hired somebody, which I did. I can hire somebody a little earlier than I expected to. So it's just become another cash flow for me. It's another flow of cash into the business.
So is Trade Banks just here in the Madison, Huntsville area?
No, this is a nationwide company. It's 35 years old. It's based out of Atlanta, Georgia. It was started by a gentleman over there just with some friends like you guys that started bartering with each other and said, we should do this and we should do it in a legitimate way. And we should invest in software that tracks every little penny. I can pull up my Trade Bank app and see exactly how much money I have in my account. I can see down to the last statement when I first joined 3 years ago. So I know where every trade dollar has come in and where every trade dollar has gone out. So I can literally tell you how much money I've saved in 2021 just by using barter. It's thousands off the office.
So Lisa, I see your tag, it says regional owner.
It is a franchise, and I have the region that is between Coleman and Fayetteville, Tennessee. So everything in between is a region that I manage.
Wow.
I started just as a member, just a member.
Right.
And about a year later, the CEO of the company approached me and said, you know, the gentleman that had it was stepping away and wanted to know if I would take over this area. And it's been nothing but fun since.
Excellent.
Hey, you never can go wrong whenever you are doing something that you love and it's fun. Yeah. It's hard. True. It's often hard when you have to, oh man, I got to go into this office today.
But that's why entrepreneurs start. That's why they start their own gig. Exactly. Because they don't want that feeling anymore. They want to do their thing that makes them happy. Everybody should be interested in building a life that they never have to take a vacation from.
Exactly.
Well said. Building a life that you never have to take a vacation from.
Doesn't mean you don't want to take one.
That's small umbrellas included. So one of the questions, Lisa, that I know that I said I was going to ask you that we were going to talk about was during COVID, during the height of COVID, right? How were you affected during that time?
Now, are we talking the offices at SpinWren or Trade Bank?
Let's see if we can touch on both of them.
Let's start.
Yes. Let's start with
I
SpinWren.
had two members at SpinWren that were deeply affected. Their businesses were deeply tied to things that were immediately shut down. I worked with them. I did not lose any of my members during COVID. We didn't lose any tenants during COVID. In fact, I actually gained a couple that were virtuals, working from home didn't work for them. So they were looking for a part-time in-house position to be able to work from day office. Trade Bank, I knuckled down and I took 2 months off. Not going to kid you. I did not do anything for March and April. It didn't feel right. I did a lot of time spending helping my businesses just gain traction and stay above water. So I didn't, lose any, especially my restaurants. I have a lot of restaurant partners. Right. So I did a lot of work with them, started calling HOAs so they could bring their food truck, started calling people trying to help them get catering jobs because they were still open and they still had employees. Right. They just had no customers coming in house. Right. So I spent 2 months just kind of doing that thing and didn't really bring any no members in for 2 months. And then when things kind of started to lighten up, you remember summer hit and things got a little bit better. Right. I went right back at it in, like you say, the bootstrap fashion and ended up being the fastest growing region during the year of COVID. We grew by about 82, 84 members. Wow. That was the year I am most proud of and probably will always be. A 35-year-old company handed me the presidential award, which has never been handed to a first year out of the gate trade bank owner ever.
That's awesome.
Ever.
That is awesome.
I mean, there are a few things in my life I am super proud of. And that one, I felt like, I really earned it. I worked hard for it and I'm really proud of it. And I'm proud of my trade bank members.
Right. So So Charles, Lisa, as I'm thinking about this, you talked about the growth factor. I'm trying to dive a little deeper, right? Okay. And what folks out there, what I mean by dive a little deeper, you talked about there was hard work. With the hard work, what ideas, what direction, what gave you direction? I.e., what did you have to change in order to get that growth? You just, that growth just doesn't happen, okay? You went to work, but what did you go to work doing?
Well, I always suggest to entrepreneurs, find a way to afford a really great business coach. And you know who mine is. Find a way to put that in your budget. Okay. Most of them tend to ignore the marketing and the advertising piece of it because they feel like that they're wearing all the hats. They don't, there's not a hat that they're not wearing. Right. But barter allows some of my clients to kind of do what they love and what they should be doing, but then use those barter dollars to buy the things that's not their strong suit. My strong suit is never going to be QuickBooks. I took a class, hated it. It is never going to be my thing. The first thing I did when I opened SpinWren was the first person I hired was a bookkeeper because I knew it wasn't going to be me. The same thing within Trade Bank. The first thing when I bought it, I called the same bookkeeper and I said, look, I'm buying another business. You're keeping my books. I'm not touching them. Let's just go ahead and have a meeting, get it started and do it right. Right. Sometimes that's hard for entrepreneurs to let go of they feel like, oh no, I gotta
put their finger
Yes.
on
everything.
Mhm.
But you
Right.
have to get to that point, and I've reached that pivot point again, which is excruciatingly painful sometimes when you grow to that point and you know, look, I've got to let go of some of it because I can't do all of it and do it well.
Yes.
So you have to find those people that you can trust. You have to have partners, or you have to have a community of people around you that, for lack of a better words, they got your back.
There you go.
If something happens.
Right.
That's what we build at SpinWren. You know that. You
Mhm.
pick up the phone, you call me, and I'm like, yeah, what do you need me to do? I'm there.
Right. Right.
Once a SpinWren, always a SpinWren.
Always.
Oh.
Always.
And
Right.
we try to kind of envelop that in Trade Bank as well. We use
Right.
the word community a lot, and I encourage the members, like and share other people's Facebook pages. If you've done business with them, could you go and give them a 5-star review? You know what the value of a 5-star review is for an
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Exactly.
It's as good as a paycheck because it brings you more clients, more customers.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, listen to that out there, friends, family, and others. Please like and share.
Always. And
Comments.
Mhm.
that, Lisa, you really hit the head on that, because we often, and I know, as I had our previous guest here, Tim Rice, who does web designs, and he talked about likes, shares, and comments,
Mhm.
and the weight that it holds. And I remember vividly always looking at something and saying, man, that's pretty cool, or that is really nice, and never liked it, never commented on it, never shared it, and just went next. Like this. But now, after being taught that and him coming here and speaking, I realized the importance of that. So now when I am in any type of social media or any type of business, if I thought service was great and I thought they deserve 5 stars, I do that now. I make sure I take time to write a comment that says, hey, this place was wonderful, or the service here was great, the food was great, or I really like that content that you put out, or something like that, because I realize how important that is. And I know Brewster, him himself, we together, as we take data and analyze everything that we do, we see the difference in what it makes.
Absolutely.
We see the difference.
You are talking to the girl who went to Waffle House a few weekends ago and had such an amazing experience just watching the crew, and it was the one right down here on University. Just the rhythm and how they did everything. You could tell they were working as a team.
Right.
As I was getting ready to leave, I held my phone up and I said, hey guys, let me take your picture. And I took a picture of the cooks while they were doing their little symphony of cooking,
Right.
and then turned around and posted it out on Facebook and put it into Google as a review mentioning them by name.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That didn't, you know what,
That's
that took me
great.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
5 minutes
Yeah.
to take the picture and write just something nice. Honestly, I copied and pasted it from the Facebook post to the Google post.
Right.
But for them, I know they're a corporate entity, but, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe corporate saw and knows that these two people are really exceptional.
Right. That's excellent. That's
excellent information.
Yeah.
So if a young entrepreneur out there is interested in SpinWren or is interested in trade banks, how can one contact you or get in contact with you so that they can take a deep dive in the trade bank and see?
I would love to talk to anybody and just give them that information. The offices at SpinWren is on the web at theofficesaspinwren.com, and huntsville.tradebank.com is our website for Trade Bank here locally. But you're always welcome to call me, and I'm pretty sure my cell phone number is all over the web. If we're LinkedIn friends or not, if we're not Facebook friends, send me a Facebook request.
Great. Guys, you heard it first, and you heard it from Lisa herself. The importance of like, sharing, and comment on Facebook posts, Google reviews, which is another important one. Those are there. Those are huge. We sometimes tend to forget about Google reviews. I'm glad you mentioned that. We tend to forget about those things, and those are very, very important things, especially for that young entrepreneur who's trying to get that business going, and they're doing the right things, and they got a great product and they got a great service. Let them know. Yes. Let the people know. Because the same way that you go to look at a hotel and you see that 5-star review, or you see that 1-star review, like, yeah, I ain't going there. Like, this was the same thing for those entrepreneurs. Yes. They depend on you to help them succeed.
Absolutely. I agree. So many thanks. I appreciate it. I'm one of those people that jot down notes and when it's good information and good content, if I can use it as well
Right.
and spread that joy and those tidbits that can help the community in which we're in, figurative and literal community that we're in to grow. Because I'm a firm believer that our community just doesn't start or stop in our local area. It's like you have a region. There's an expansion. That's an expansion possibility. We can expand to such a level with the tools that we have. There's no limit to the distance that we can travel, that we can reach, the people that we can reach. So with your help, and that's another one of those like, shares, and comments, right? And share these lives as well. You know, someone is looking for this. There's someone out there that's looking for that to say, oh, I got it. That was that little piece of information that makes sense for me. Yes. Yeah. I got it. True.
Right.
So
very true. And that is very so important, because too often that we tend to think that I don't need that, so I'm good. But it could be that person next door, it could be that neighbor, it could be that friend, it could be that somebody. I know I had a phone call just on Monday, and someone told me that, hey, I received your information for somebody who was watching one of your What's Happening Now, Seeing Our Lives, and they said that y'all do entrepreneur classes. I thought, yes, ma'am, we sure do. Well, I need to sign up because that's what I need. And first thing I thought about was likes, shares, and comments. Somebody liked, shared, and comment this Facebook Live, and it found its way to somebody who needed the services that we provided. So that is important. That is important. True.
So remember, please look into Trade Bank. There's much to learn. There's much that you possibly can do within your area. Find out who's working with Trade Bank in your area. And I'm sure since everyone has Lisa Smith's phone number, you can call her and she may be able to direct you to that.
Well, and another thing, I'm actually looking for a couple of part-time employees to join me at Trade Bank. So if anybody is necessarily wanting some work, specifically in the Athens, Decatur, Coleman area, I am looking to hire after the first of the year. I want to get everybody through Christmas, let them enjoy the holidays. Right. But I'll be posting those things too. So if you know anybody, send it my way.
Outstanding. Hey, you heard it, folks. Someone who's looking for a job, contact Lisa. She's ready. She's ready. You know, going into the holiday seasons, you know, a lot of times that, you know, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations out there trying to help Toys for Tots, the homeless. You know, I ask everyone to be mindful of them. If you can give, please give. If you can help, please help. Because you never know anyone's situation. You never know what someone might be going through or what they had to go through to put them in that position. So don't just take it for granted that someone's out there. I know one for myself, and I know Bruce and I, we spoke about this. We're going to see if we can find us a soup kitchen, and we want to go help out at that soup kitchen and be able to help serve, you know, because that's what we're here for as a community-based organization here at CNI Solutions. We're here for the community, and we try to work in the community and do the best that we can. So we do appreciate everything that everyone out there does, all the support that you all give, the donations, the sponsorships. You know, we cannot do this without you, you know, so we truly, truly appreciate everything that we get from you all. Lisa, do you have any closing remarks that you would like to say, ma'am?
Thank you again for having me here. It's been a joy.
Well, thank you.
All right, Brewster, any closing remarks for our viewers?
Can I talk about football?
Yes. No.
Okay. No.
Roll Tide for Brewster.
Roll Tide.
No. Okay. Well then, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, viewers out there, we wish you all a happy holiday. Safe. Anyone who's traveling, please be safe on those highways and byways. And just remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Until next time, everybody have a good night.